Hey everybody, it's Brian Harris here, just doing my weekly update. So I just pushed out the numbers and they're interesting. So I've got a lot to talk about this week. We'll talk about the numbers, obviously. I want to talk a little bit about where I kind of foresee the market going, and let's just go from there. So let's start on the stats. So first, Hillsborough County is at 4,350 listings this week as of on Monday, which is about levels, 3,306 the week prior. We have a pretty level number of new listings, so that's a good sign. But what's interesting is the number of pendings actually shot up. It went up from 361 to 440 in the county. Obviously, there's little pockets, and if you look at my stats, if you check out my Instagram or social, or Facebook, you'll see the numbers there in detail. But the number of pendings did go up. I think that is probably a little bit because of where things went with the hurricane, how things, the people ready to buy, and they want to jump in before it gets, before we hit that really slow part of the year. Also, if you look at the number of price changes, they actually went down. So we're seeing a little bit of stabilization. Obviously, there are fewer buyers because rates have gone up. In fact, if you look at where we were in January to where they are now, we're basically double. We're plus or minus about 7%, depending on the lender. They were at 3 and change prior, back in January. So they've shot up a ton. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that the rates aren't going to go as crazy, but what the impact that has on the market is hard to say, because there's a lot of question marks out there, right? We have an election coming up. There's a recession going on, or they say is not going on, but could be going on. There is Ukraine, Russia, all that stuff going on with the oil and prices. Inflation still hasn't been caught up, so they're talking about raising rates again. So there's a lot to consider. What's that going to do? Well, hey, I know a lot of buyers have stepped out, so rents are continuing to rise. At some point, it's going to become too expensive to rent. People are going to want to go back and buy again. So there's this ebb and flow. And we look at these stats each week, and to try and figure out where we're going to go is hard to say. Personally, prices are falling for sure right now. How far are they going to go? I don't know. There's going to be a point where the buyers are going to start coming back in and say, hey, that's a good point. I see a lot of cash investors right now coming in just shy of where we're at. So it's not going to be too much further before prices start to level off, and we'll start to see some of that steady increase again. So give me a call. I'm happy to chat, or shoot me a text or send me an email, a direct message, whatever's easier for you, and we'll kind of bounce some ideas off each other and see where you're at and see what makes sense. We're going to be going into typically the slower time of the year as we hit that Thanksgiving, that Christmas thing, but then January things start to kind of progress back up. So if you're looking to buy, be on the lookout. It's not a bad time to consider that, even with the rates and where things are price-wise. Prices have fallen a little bit. Rates are starting to level off. They're probably going to go up a little bit, but who knows how much further. And if you're going to sell, it's not a bad time either, really. It could be, look at it either way, but capitalize on it where you're at and make that move. So give me a call, 813-753-9424, and we'll chat. Thanks. Bye-bye.